Hey, what's up guys? I'm Greg Elliott and welcome to Screen Rant. It has been 6 very long years since the end of Breaking Bad, and now we've finally gotten to see...
Yeah, man. El Camino.
Yep, El Camino, which picks up Jesse Pinkman's storyline right after he escapes from the white supremacist compound in the Breaking Bad series finale. And I know you're all dying to know who's back from the show. There are definitely a few pretty awesome surprises, and I can't stress enough that this video is going to have a ton of spoilers. So if you haven't seen El Camino yet, you'll pretty much want to stop watching right now. Okay? Good? Well, just in case, let's get the easy ones out of the way. Jesse, of course, is back, and it shouldn't be much of a surprise that his friends Skinny Pete and Badger are too, as they did show up in the trailers, and they help Jesse out at the beginning when he shows up on their doorstep. Old Joe, the junkyard owner who helped Walt and Jesse do that magnet thing in season 5, was also in one of the trailers, and he shows up to help Jesse get rid of the El Camino, but takes off quickly when he realizes that there's a tracker on it. Okay, and now for the people that weren't in the trailers. Come on, I know you're wondering if he would make an appearance. Is it true? Could it be? Yep, Bryan Cranston, Walter White himself, is in El Camino. And no guys, I'm sorry, the movie definitively confirms that he did die in the series finale of Breaking Bad. They did tread lightly with his cameo though, and Walter only shows up in one flashback near the end, which looks like it takes place during the events of season 2. And unsurprisingly, there's a few other people back from the dead too, so to speak. Jane Margolis, or Jesse's girlfriend who was effectively killed by Walt in season 2, is in one brief flashback at the end of the film where she tells Jesse that you've got to make your own choices and forge your own path, which slots in nicely to the theme of the movie. Todd, who died a very violent and deserved death in the series finale, surprisingly has one of the biggest roles in the movie, with a lot of flashbacks to his and Jesse's time together when Jesse was his prisoner. We see a lot of how awful and psychotic Todd really was, and that Jesse even had a chance to escape and kill him at one point, but was so broken at that time that he just couldn't do it. Kenny from Jack's gang also gets a brief cameo in a flashback with Todd and Jesse, where they're testing the limits of Jesse's chains. Now, it wouldn't be a Breaking Bad movie without Mike, and he does indeed make a flashback appearance in El Camino's opening scene, which takes place at the same location where he died in season 5 of Breaking Bad. This scene sets up the whole film by Mike telling Jesse that if he were in his shoes, he'd go to Alaska, and that's exactly where Jesse decides to go. Okay, and now back to people that are alive. Ed Galbraith, otherwise known as the Disappearer from season 5, who can, well, make people disappear for a good chunk of change, helps Jesse out eventually, which is exactly what he did for Saul at the end of Breaking Bad, which we've seen the result of in the Gene flash-forward scenes in Better Call Saul. Jesse's parents also show up briefly in the movie, first on a TV news broadcast pleading for Jesse to turn himself in, and later during a phone call with Jesse where he lies about meeting them in order to get into their house. There are a handful of other minor cameos in El Camino, such as Special Agent Raimi and Assistant District Attorney Erickson that we see on the news early in the film, the Man Mountain from Better Call Saul, who we learn is actually named Clarence, and even Simon Drobnik, the real Albuquerque police officer from season 3 of Better Call Saul. And that's it. There's a few other characters mentioned but not seen, like Lydia, who is alive but not expected to survive, Brock, who Jesse sends a letter to at the very end, and even an indirect mention of Saul Goodman by Ed. So, what'd you think of the movie? Did we miss anybody? Let us know in the comments and keep coming back to Screen Rant for all your movie and TV news. I'm Greg Elliott, and I'll see you next time. Adios.